Yes, so welcome to the new chapter and new lecture of evolution. What do you mean by evolve? To evolve means to rise. Okay, so evolution is meaning is what? So evolution is concerned with one word, and that is known as a speciation. What do you mean by speciation? Speciation meaning is that the occurrence of a new species. So whenever the another new species is created, that is known as a speciation. Okay, that is known as what? Speciation. Okay, so speciation means origin or occurrence of a new species. Okay, and how this is happening, how the species are new species are created, that is because of the accumulated mutations. Those are known as variations. Oh, so what is in the base of evolution? In the base of evolution, it is a variation. Okay, to evolve meaning is also that the gradual change is taking place. Now you may be confused that what I want to convey you. Okay, so let me write down something so that you can get to know about it. Okay, yeah. So gradual change means what? I'm telling you, just look on the tetrapoda. In the tetrapoda, they have a four poda. So they have a two hands and two legs. Okay, so that's known as a tetrapoda. In the case of tetrapoda, if you first of all think about the before tetrapoda, there is a fish. The fish is having a which kind of a heart? They have two chambered heart, one auricle, one ventricle. One auricle, one ventricle, they are having, yes or no? Now amphibians, they will be having the three chambered heart. So this is what the gradual development. This is known as what? The gradual development. So fishes were having a only two chambered heart. Amphibians are having a three chambered heart. Reptiles will be having a partially four chambered heart. Then the birds will be having four chambered heart totally, and mammals will be having four chambered heart. Wow. So this is how the organisms will evolve. So this is known as a evolution. Does it make sense to you? Yes or no? Okay. So to evolve means what? The gradual changes are taking place. It's not all of a sudden changes. And there are so many different kind of people who have tried to give idea about this evolution. But the problem was that before study of evolution, we should always study that how the life was originated. Who was the first organism? And from that first organism only, some evolution have taken place and had given rise to today's all the plant and animal and microorganism species. Am I mean that all organisms are having only one ancestor? Yeah, I do mean that. Okay, then who was the first organism originated on the earth? That was blue-green algae, and his name is Oscillatoria. Now, here is the question which is in your mind also. Hey, sir, how do you know about that? Or forget about me. But your question is that, sir, how do we get to know that this was the only first one? Because at that time, the human was not present. So, how confidently one can say that, yes, this was the first organism? And how the life was originated, how the earth was originated. And whenever we are going to any other planet, why we are keep searching, is there a water, is there a water, is there a water? They should bring water with themselves, na? As we are always going out and we are taking our water bottle with us. So astronauts should also have a water with themselves, na? So why they are keep asking this one question, that is the Mars is having a water, the moon is having a water. Why is it so? Because on earth, First time life was originated in water. Oh, so the question is that how life is originated on water. So that is one question. How the earth was originated, that is also a big question. The earth was having the same kind of an environment right from the beginning, or it is keep changing. My God. So, these are some logical questions. Do you think so? These are the logical questions, yes or no? Yeah. Okay. So it's a very interesting chapter, and we will having so many different kind of stories. Sometimes funny stories also, and you will definitely love this chapter. The way I will teach you, it's my guarantee you will love it. Okay. So just be with me. Okay. So let's start, and let me share with you the whiteboard. So here I'm just going to tell you that what and how our evolution have taken a place. Okay, so I'm just giving you some general idea about the evolution. Okay, yeah. So basically, what happens? First of all, there is a variation. Okay, so there is a variation. What do you mean by variation? Do you know the definition of variation? The differences which are present in the organisms of the same species. The difference is in between organisms. Let me write down all between. The difference is in between organisms of same species. Is known as a variation. Yes or no? Say yes or no. Now variation will give rise to what? Because many variations which are accumulated, they will give rise to a new species. So occurrence of a new species is known as what? That is known as a speciation. Okay. So speciation means what? Occurrence of a new species. Yes. Occurrence of new species. Wow. And slowly and gradually so many species are given a rise, and that had given rise to evolution. Wow, wow, wow. You want to write down this? Please write it down and make it as soon as possible done. And what I believe evolution is what? Some gradual changes taking place. Please write down it as soon as possible. The gradual changes which is taking place is known as what? That's known as evolution. So variation, differences in between the organisms of the same species, speciation, occurrence of the new species, and evolution is known as a gradual changes. Okay, yeah. So let's go further. Have you written it? Make it as soon as possible. Pause the video and write down this. Let me tell you about how the gradual changes are taking place. Just for your understanding, I'm just showing you that the heart of the fish will be having a two-chambered. So it is having one auricle and one ventricle. Wow, sir, it looks super. Okay. Then after the amphibians will be having a three-chambered heart, which will be having a two auricles and one ventricle. Yes, sir. Then after the reptiles will be having a partially three-chambered heart. So they will be having a heart like this. So partially three-chambered. And at last they will be four-chambered heart. That is in the case of a humans as well as in the case of a birds. Okay, then it would be like this. Yo. So this is known as what? That's known as a gradual development or gradual changes. So this is known as what? Gradual development or gradual changes. Okay, such a kind of a gradual development and gradual changes is known as what? Evolution. And I hope you are perfectly fine with this. Okay, yeah. But this, still we have some question in our mind. How do you get to know that where the life was originated? How the life was originated? Because at that time nobody was present on the earth, because even the human was not present, because the first life which was generated, the life which is originated was not a human. So how do you get to know about that, and how can we think about it? So it's a really a very logical question, and we have to answer it with the so many evidences also. Okay, if somebody says that this is the way how the life is originated, then you have to keep asking that do you have any evidence? How can we believe that, whatever you are saying it's a true? Yeah, because there will be no photograph, no movie, no any video clip. So how do you get to know about that? Yes or no? Right? So that makes this topic a very interesting one. Okay, so evolution have taken a place. There was a different kind of a era was there. The Jurassic era was there, and the different kind of periods were there, Jurassic period and so on. So we should get to know about it. Okay, so theories of origin of life, that's what we are going to talk about, this kind of a thing. Theories of origin of life, evidences of evolution, theories of evolution, a brief account of the evolution and human evolution. Wow. So let's start with the theory of origin of life. So how the life is originated. And before that, we should also think about it, that how the earth was originated before going in the detail of all this. Okay. So what is evolution? Evolution is an orderly changes. That's what I told you, the gradual changes from one form to another form. So it's a kind of a gradual changes are taking place from one form to another form. Evolutionary biology, that's the study of the history of life forms on the earth. Uh, can you tell me any other word we can use for this evolutionary studies from your 11th grade, if you know about it? Anyone? What is another word for the evolutionary relationship? No. So let me tell you, that's known as a phylogenetic relationship. In the classification, we studied about this. Okay. So phylogeny is also regarding this evolutionary things. Okay. Okay, what is this? It is the origin of life. Oh my God. So this is just talking about some. This is talking about the primitive environment on Earth. So how was the primitive environment on Earth? So the it's a very heavy rain. How it is. On the other hand, there are volcanic eruptions are there. something is coming. What is this? Lightning is very much, so kind of a very scary, and it looks like a nightmare. What do you say? Ane? Okay, so why I'm showing this? Because yeah, in these kind of an environment only the life was originated. Mhm. Okay, so would you like to go for the story of the origin of life? Sure. So I'm just showing you some logical explanation. But before that, we should also get to know about that how the Earth was originated. The Earth was originated by bang, 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 bang. Oh no, it's not a bang, bang. It's known as a Big Bang theory. So Big Bang theory states what? So it is stating that there was a all of a sudden very big boom explosion have taken a place, and in the universe it had happened. So it was Big Bang theory. So that was the pieces of the sun. The sun is the main source of energy. Okay, so from the sun, the pieces of the sun are there because of Big Bang theory, and those such a small pieces are making the planet, and our planet Earth is also one of such a planet. Agree? Agree with that? Okay. The Big Bang theory states that the universe originated about 20 billion years ago. Now, in this whole chapter, you should keep translating what do you mean by 20 billion. Billion meaning is that 100 crore. Honey. So keep telling me what do you mean by 20 billion years ago? It's how many crores? It's a 2000 crore. Tell me. So it was a 2000 crore years ago. And that's why you keep doing this. Huh? It's a million. Million means million. Million is equal to what? Million is equal to 10 lakhs. And billion is equal to 100 crore. Okay, so the Big Bang theory states that the universe originated about 20 billion years ago. 20 billion, that is what? That is known as a 2000 crore years ago. Oh my God. By a thermonuclear explosion, which is known as a bang bang. It's not a bang bang, but it's known as a big bang of a dense entity. And we assume that that dense entity was the sun. Yes? Hmm. Yeah. And the earth, oh no, so like a 20,000 crores ago, 2000, yes. So 2000 crores years ago, Big Bang theory happened, and the earth is created just 450 crore years ago. Yes or no? So how much is the gap? 2000 crore minus 450 crore. That is how much gap? One 1550. 1550 crore years the time took place to give rise to earth. Oh my God. So what happened during that? What I believe personally is that it is the time which is taken when the earth was traveling to the very far area, and then after it started moving on its orbits. Oh, okay. Yeah, are you getting this? Okay, now the primitive environment of the earth. So let me tell you one very good, I have just written all the sequence one by one. I'm just sharing with you, and that's amazing sequence. Okay, I'm just telling you that this may happen. Okay, yeah, but it's a really a logical story, and you will be convinced about that story. Okay, and I'm sure about it, and I'm not insisting you to to agree with me, but yes, it's a very good story. So this is what this is about the ancient environment of the earth. Okay, so in the ancient environment of the earth, what we got? Hmm. Tian, tian, tian. Look here, huh? Huh. Ancient environment of earth. Okay, yeah. So just before that I have written that how the mutation is taking place. So evolution is equal to gradual change, gradual development, slow mutation, that is giving rise to speciation. That's the same I just told you. Okay, yeah. Hmm. Hmm. So let me tell you about this ancient environment of the earth. Please look over here, and later on I will give you time to write it down also, so don't worry about that. Okay, so ancient environment of the earth. When the earth was created, it was just like a fireball. Why? Because it is part of the fireball, big fireball. So the sun is known as a big fireball, and the part of it is known as a earth. So that was really just like a fireball. Yeah, and that's why earth temperature was very high, very high. So most of the molecules were in their liquid form or a gaseous form, but very few were in the solid form. Okay, but most of the molecules were present in the liquid form or gaseous form, but very few were present in the form of a solid. Okay, it was a reducing atmosphere. What do you mean by reducing atmosphere? Its meaning is that if you are asking me how is today's atmosphere, I would definitely say today's atmosphere is known as an oxidizing atmosphere. So what's the difference? Oxidizing atmosphere means that you can get free oxygen in the atmosphere, and that's why we can inhale. Okay, so free oxygen is available, but in the primitive environment of Earth, oxygen was not available. Hey, sir, how do you get to know about it? Because if the oxygen was available, na, then whatever new things will synthesize, the oxygen will decompose them. Oxygen will oxidize them. But earlier, whatever things were synthesized, that was just keep accumulated. It was just keep accumulated. It was just keep accumulated. Some samjha nahi. Are you getting this? Okay. It was reducing atmosphere. So hydrogen was present in plenty, but oxygen was not present in the free form of oxygen. So how the oxygen was present? Oxygen was present as oxides, like oxides of hydrogen, that's known as H2O, and that's known as water. Calcium oxide, magnesium oxide, that's the way how oxygen was present, but it was not present in the free form. It was not present in the form of a go-to, not go-to, O2, O2. Honey? Okay. So at that time, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen were there. Who were there? Carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, and nitrogen. Now, hydrogen was very chalu. Chalu? What do you mean by chalu? Can react with anything. Okay. So that's how the hydrogen had reacted with the carbon and given rise to the methane. Hydrogen reacted with itself also, reacted with itself also and given rise to H2. Reacted with oxygen, given rise to a water. Reacted with the nitrogen and given rise to the ammonia. Okay. So that is going to be happen. Okay, so this carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen just made reacted with the hydrogen and they had given rise to methane, hydrogen, water, ammonia. These material were collected in the earth crust or in the rocks. Okay, so this material was collected. Okay, that's fine. Okay, then after what happens? As the earth was going away from the sun, as the earth was going away from the sun, the temperature of the earth was decreasing. Just listen to me carefully. Huh? Temperature of the earth was decreasing. At that time, might be happen that the water was not present because it is a temperature is above 100 degrees Celsius. Then what happens? So when the life was originated, might when the earth was originated at that time, the temperature was more than 100 degrees Celsius. Then water will be not present in the water, but it will be present in the form of a water vapor, just surrounding the earth globe. Yes. So as the earth is moving away from the sun, its temperature is decreasing. The moment its temperature becomes below 100 degrees Celsius, water vapor started to condense and transform into water. Oh, so what is on an average temperature of today's earth? Let us say it is a 25 or 30. I don't know exactly, but I'm just thinking. Oh, so the difference between the 30 degrees Celsius, which is on an average, I'm telling you, and the 100 degrees Celsius is 70 degrees Celsius. Okay, so as the Earth was moving away from the sun for so many plenty of years, the earth was moving away from the sun, the water vapor condensed into the water, and that's how for years and years heavy rainfall takes place. Ah, and that heavy rainfall was accompanied by da-da-dum, da-da-dum, kind of a lightning, and the friction of the clouds, they will make such a sound, and that will keep going on and on. Yes or no? Okay, so as the earth move away from the sun, earth's temperature was keep decreasing, so water vapor condensed and came to earth in the form of a heavy rainfall. In the form of what? Heavy rainfall. Okay, now just think about the surface of the earth. There are some places where the rocks are there, somewhere mountains are there, and somewhere big pits are also there. Those big pits are known as the ocean today. And for years, the water was getting collected in it. Oh, wow, sir, what a superb kind of logic you are using. Yes, we are just going on the same logic. Yeah, just look here. This is what the surface of the earth, this is the plane surface. Can you see the blue line? Yes, that's the plane surface. Okay, but that was not the surface of the earth. Like we can see in the moon also, there are big pits. Also here also, there it was not a uniform surface. Okay, so you can see that rainfall, heavy rainfall have takes place, and there are some these place. I think this place should be the island. Yes or no? You can see my arrow. This place should be the island, and that's why it could be a Fifi Island, or Phuket, or Sri Lanka, Maldives, Andaman Nicobar, Lakshadweep. Okay, yes, okay. So, and that was keep going on and on for hundreds and thousands of years. Okay, suppose such a heavy rainfall was keep going on and on, then what happened? Then soil erosion will take place. So whatever is present in the crust of the rock, in the crust of the rock, in the crust of the mountains, that is being washed off. And all those material which was present in the earth crust, those material accumulated in the water. And that's why First time the life is originated in water, because in water they got very plenty of raw material which is required for the origin of a life. Logical? Is it logical? Do you think so? It is possible? Maybe. Are you feeling maybe feeling? Are you having maybe feeling? That's what I want. Honey? Okay, then what happened? See, methane, hydrogen, water, ammonia, these were present in the presence of the energy sources. Energy sources are sunlight, lightning, volcanic eruptions. So these are the energy sources. Now, for these energy sources were present, that's why anabolic process can happen. What do you mean by anabolism? Anabolism means synthetic process. It will give rise to something. And the opposite is known as a catabolism, which is degrading something. Okay. So what will happen? Because of the methane, water, ammonia, and hydrogen, might be happen that sunlight, lightning, and the volcanic eruption had given rise to the glucose, amino acid, fatty acid, and nitrogen bases. Okay, and then after still these all the sunlight and lightning and volcanic eruption are acting as a still further for thousands of years available as energy sources, and that's why glucose had given rise to, that's the monomer had given rise to a polymer. The glucose will give rise to starch, glycogen, cellulose, any kind of a thing. Yes, so that's how glucose had given rise to a polysaccharide. Glucose is a monosaccharide and it had given rise to a polysaccharide. Yes or no? Amino acid will give rise to a protein. Yes or no? Okay. Then fatty acids will give rise to lipid and nitrogen base will give rise to a nucleic acid. Yes. Now still these also combine together and they have given rise to a primitive kind of a life which may known as a coacervates or microspheres. Okay. Don't think about too much, but you can say that these all the things will combine, like cellulose will give rise to a cell wall, then lipid and protein will give rise to a lipoprotein cell membrane, then inside the nucleus there will be a nucleic acid. Wow, yeah. So this is the way how the cell and cell organelles may have given a rise. Yes. So primitive kind of a cell, primitive of a life, primitive kind of a life can be there. Okay, blue-green algae was the first one. Now, what is the blue-green algae? Blue, at that time, there was no any oxygen present on the earth. Okay, but these blue-green algae, or you say coacervates or microspheres, they have one very good property, and that was the property of self-replication. So they can regenerate themselves as like DNA. Wow. As a result of that, one blue-green algae had given rise to so many blue-green algae. The blue-green algae uh, don't require any kind of oxygen material. They don't require free oxygen. But yeah, then how they can sustain? Because for their sustenance, only one thing is required, that is chemical energy. So they started to inhale carbon dioxide and performing photosynthesis, and as an end product they will liberate oxygen. They will liberate oxygen. Yeah. So blue green algae started photosynthesis and start liberating free oxygen in the atmosphere, and this happens for thousands of years. Then only aerobically respiring organisms like us got the chance to survive on the earth. Oh, then only the aerobically respiring cells and organisms were formed. How is this? Do you think so that this is possible logically? Can you give that? Okay, might be. Can you say might be? Yes, no. Okay. So would you like to write down this story, or there is no need to write down this? Want to write down this story? Okay. So let me have a previous page. You have to write down it very fast, in a bad handwriting or whatever it is. Just pause the video and just write down this as soon as possible. I hope you paused it and you have done this also. If you have not done, please pause this and please write down this. Okay. Now let me go further. And you may think that, sir, it's a very logical one and a very, very superb one. So let us add something fun in it. Fun in this topic, how is it possible? Because this is what may happen, but the other people had gone through the different kind of a theory, and they were keep thinking about something else. So I will let you know about those theories also, and that's how the fun begins. So this is what volcanic eruption is there, and lots of the water is just going on, and the soil erosion is taking place. Lightning is there, heavy rainfall is there. Are you getting it now? So that's why I created this origin of life is a Big Bang theory, and now you can see there are so much water. Wow. And some biochemical reactions are taking place. The earth was formed about the 4.5 million years ago, and there was no atmosphere on early earth, and the water vapor, methane, carbon dioxide, NH3, hydrogen released from the molten mass was covering the whole surface. The water in the form of by the ultraviolet radiation, it had given rise to H2O2. NH3 combined with O2 give rise to water. NaCH4 plus O2 give rise to CO2. Okay. Now, then the ozone layer was formed. And ozone layer, so there are two ways how the temperature was becoming decreasing. One is that it was keep moving away from the sun, and another one was a ozone layer was formed. As it cooled, the water vapor fall as a rain to fill the depressions and form oceans. Wow. Then there are some funny things are there. Are you going to have a fun within this? Yes, because why I'm saying, because before we come up to this logical thing, there are so many people who are keep thinking about the and keep saying about the different kind of a thing, and everyone was fair to give their opinion. Okay, and that's how the fun begins. The first is biogenesis, panspermia, creationism, and chemical evolution. So, what do you mean by that? So, all these theories are very, very amazing one. So, theory of a spontaneous genesis. So, all of a sudden, from non-living organism, the living organism had given a rise. It states that the life came out of decaying and rotting matter like straw and mud and etc. So from the mud only we are arising. And how can you give a proof? So they may give you a proof. This people can give you a proof that yes, from the soil only the earthworm are coming out. So what are they? So they are arising from the mud only. They are arising from the soil material only. But that's not how they are created. Okay. But they were staying and they were living in the earth crust or in the soil, under the soil. So that's abiogenesis. Another one is Louis Pasteur had demonstrated that life come only from pre-existing life and disproved the abiogenesis theory. Hmm? He showed that the pre-sterilized flask life didn't come from the killed yeast. So pre-sterilized flask, that is this one, sterilized, okay. Killed yeast was there, okay. So then what happens? While in another flask open to the air, here it was not open. Okay, so organisms cannot move in this way. That's what he's saying. Okay, but there was no growth over here. But there is a flask which is open in the air. Then you can see microbial growth had taken a place. Its meaning is that new organisms arising, but they are coming from the air. So somebody else said it's about the biogenesis. Biogenesis is being said by the Louis Pasteur, then Spallanzani, and Francesco Redi. It states that the life originated from the pre-existing life. But the question is that from where that pre-existing life came? Yes or no? The theory was proposed by Francisco Redi and Spallanzani and Louis Pasteur. Theory of panspermia. What do you mean by panspermia? Its meaning is that whatever is required to synthesize the living organism, it was equally distributed in all over the world. It is all over the universe. It is equally distributed. So say, for example, the spore-like structures are already present everywhere in the earth. So, and just from those, whenever they got any favorable environment, they just given rise to a new organism. So it states that the units of life, that is known as the spores, were transferred to the different planet, including the Earth. So they came from somewhere else. So that is known as what? That is known as a cosmic theory. Okay. It is also known as a theory of panspermia. It is also known as what? Theory of panspermia. So, there are some people who are saying that our business um, uh, is actually spreaded all over the India, pan India. We are having the branches. Pan India means what? Everywhere. Okay. Okay. So panspermia means what? Everywhere there is a spore-like structure that present. Wow. Is there anything else? Yes, the theory of special creation. So what do you mean by this theory of special creation? There is a divine energy, and the divine energy had given rise to a life. Okay, and what is that divine energy? Nobody knows. So it states that the everything living and non-living was created by some supernatural power, the divine energy, that is God. But how can you prove that? And now comes the real one, what we have studied, that's known as the theory of chemical evolution. It was proposed by Operin and Haldane, and both were not resident of a same area, but they get the same telepathy, same kind of a thought. Okay, it states that the first form of a life was originated from pre-existing non-living inorganic and organic molecules such as methane, ammonia, water, sugar, protein, nucleic acid, etc. So abiogenesis is the first one, but biogenesis then after. So only once upon a time life is originated, and then after the life had undergone evolution and created so many organisms. So that's what they believe. Are you getting it? Operin and Haldane state that the first form of a life was originated by so many inorganic and organic substances, okay, molecules such as the methane, ammonia, water, sugar, protein, nucleic acid, etc., etc. Okay, and that is known as what? Abiogenesis. First of all, non-living things had given rise to a living thing, but that was only once. Huh? But then after, biogenesis takes place ever since. Wow. Now the question was that it's okay, the chemical evolution or Operin Haldane, whatever they said, it seemed to be a very, very logical one and much more acceptable. But the evidence should be there. If there is no evidence, then there is no any possibility how we can accept this fact. But nobody was able to give the evidence because Say for example, I am also a scientist. Okay, suppose I am a biologist and I want to give you the proof of this, but how I would be able to do that? Because how can I create a very high temperature on the earth, or how can I regenerate or recreate the primitive environment of the earth? And if I will do that, then I would be able to sustain in that particular chamber to do the experiment. So that was some problem, like, yes. So some scientists thought that, okay, we can have an oxygen cylinder and we can do, and in one room we can create such a high temperature. Then how we can tolerate such a high temperature where the water was present in the water vapor? Oh, we cannot tolerate more than 100 degrees Celsius. Yes or no? Even we cannot tolerate more than 50 degree, but then also more than 100 degrees Celsius was not a chance at all. And even if you can make a way on that, then again the problem is that how you can have a tadaram, tadaram lightning effect. If there will be a strong lightning effect, then might be happen the scientist who was doing the experiment will die. Might be happen the volcanic eruptions. How we can create a volcanic eruption in it? Yes or no? So there was a lots and lots of the problem. That's why Urey and Miller, they were a teacher and student. Huh? So teacher and student just created one apparatus, and that's known as a Urey Miller experiment, which is superb one. So what they have done, they have created one reaction chamber. In the reaction chamber, they have taken this raw material, that is methane, water, and ammonia, and hydrogen. All these, okay. It was vacuum. Vacuum means what? Not a vacuum, but without any oxygen. Okay, so no oxygen. Then after, so let me show you. So you can see, wow, what the kind of apparatus they have created. So Harold Urey and Stanley Miller conducted an experiment to prove the theory of chemical evolution, and they created a similar condition of primitive Earth: high temperature, volcanic storms, reducing atmosphere containing methane, ammonia, water, and hydrogen, etc. Wow, how they have done it. So this is I'm just showing you, this is the way how I can explain you very easily. Right? See, this is water is being heated, and that's how water is getting converted into water vapor. Yes or no? Water is getting converted into what? Water vapor. Okay. So water is converted into water vapor, so that's a very high temperature. Okay. Now water vapor is going here. What is this? This is reaction chamber. In the reaction chamber, already it is having a methane, ammonia, hydrogen. Water vapor is going inside, so water is also there, and they already put the electrodes over there. So when the circuit is completed, it had given rise to some spark, and those sparks are acting as a lightning effect. Oh, wow. Yes or no? Then something happened or not, I don't know, but that comes out of this, because slowly and gradually, the because of the ozone layer development, as well as the earth was moving away from the sun, for whatever reason, the temperature was decreasing. That's why here we are using the condenser. So in condenser, what will happen? The cold water is going inside, surrounding this pipe, huh? Okay. Yes, surrounding this pipe. So it will give them cooling effect. And the water which becomes hot because of this contact will come out. So that's how it's keep going on and on. Are you getting it? Okay. Then, whatever was that present in the form of a vapor, that converted into water. Yes, so cooled water containing organic compound. That will go again over here. Again, it will be heated. Hey, sir, this happens for so many years. Yes, on the earth, it had happened about the crores of years. Yeah. Yes or no? Um, Lakhs of years, thousands of years. So at least we should continue this experiment at least for a 1 month. What do you say? Okay, now. So whenever you want to add some water in it, we are allowed to add the water also. But yes, it should be airtight and it should be without any oxygen. So it's a keep going on and on and on and on and every week a very small quantity of sample was taken for the chemical analysis. At the end of the 18 days, they got that the color of the solvent is changed. So now it should have a something, some new things have been formed, and let us go for the chemical analysis of the same. So they made electric discharge in the closed flask containing water, the ammonia, then methane, hydrogen, and water vapor at 800 degrees Celsius. As a result of the some amino acids are formed. In similar experiment, others observe the formation of sugar, nitrogen bases, pigments, and fat, which is a raw material of the life, which are the raw material of the cell. Tirali. Wow. So that's amazing. So this is the vacuum pump. Even if the oxygen is there, they can take it out. Okay. Yeah. So, and you can add water from here. Yes. Hmm. That's amazing. Like, okay, let us start with this boiling water. Water vapor is going, no oxygen. Okay. Going over here. You can see the two electrodes are there. As the water vapor comes over here, the circuit is completed. And that's why it will spark discharge. Something will form and will come out. Then it will go for the condensation. The condensation will happen. So cold water will go in and it will come out. Condensation happen. That's why these gases is getting converted to the liquid water droplets, water containing organic compound, that liquid water in the trap. Okay, so you can take it for the chemical analysis and it is going back. So this is it was keep going on and on. Wow, amazing. The first non-cellular form of the life was originated in 3 billion years ago. That is what, 300 crores years ago. And they were what, RNA, protein, and polysaccharides. Wow. And what are the evidences for the evolution? That is what the paleontological evidence is. So, what do you mean by the paleontology? Its meaning is that we have gone through the fossils and we got the fossils in it from the deeper layer of the earth. Okay, so that's known as the paleontology. Morphological and anatomical evidences, biochemical evidences, evidences for the evolution by natural selection. So there are so many evidences are there, and we will study about them one by one. Paleontology is the study of a fossil. Okay, so they just dig it out. Look here, they just dig it out, and they got to know that something as fossils are remnants of the hard parts of the life forms found in the rock, that is in the earth crust. The fossil where are written documents of the evolution. Of course, no? Because they are giving us a very good hint. Hmm. Now, to study phylogeny, evolutionary history, or race history, like a horse evolution, you can see in the horse evolution that the earlier horse was just like a dog. Yeah, it's very, very small. Then its bone had, sorry, 60 million years ago. This is like a 6 crore years ago. 60 million is equal to 6 crores. 60 million means what? It's a 600 lakhs. 6 crore years ago. Okay. Then its leg, one bone is changing. Oh, yeah. Then 40 million years ago. Then 30 million years ago. 10 million years ago. And 1 million years ago. The modern horse is like this. So this is known as a gradual development or gradual changes. takes place in the organism, what I shown you in the beginning of this chapter. Yes. And in such a way, you can also show about the elephant. Okay. The fossil indicate connecting link between the two group of organisms. So that's known as significance of the fossils. But this is, you got in a phylogeny. I told you phylogenic means what? Evolutionary relationships. So, that's a evolutionary history. So this is known as evidence of a fossil. Then after evidence of fossils, fossils are indicating connecting link. Now, what do you mean by the connecting link? Let me give you a little bit idea about the connecting link. Say, for example, if I'm saying or whatever we are writing like this, okay, how can we got to know that this is the only order? Like we are just writing like this. The first were fish, then amphibians, and yeah, and then after what is this? Reptiles, and then at last mammals, or you say birds. Yes. Hmm. How do you know that this is the only a pathway? Because the oldest fossils are of the fish. Okay. We got something in between the fish and reptiles, which is known as a connecting link. Who is connecting the terrestrial life with the aquatic life? Wow. So, most of the reptiles are terrestrial, but sometimes you can find out the aquatic reptiles are there, like alligator, crocodile, and there are some snake also who can swim in the water. So those kind of organisms can be said as a connecting link. Like, okay, if somebody tell me that, okay, sir, there is a fish, then amphibians, then after it is about the reptiles, yes, and then after it's about the aves and mammals. How do you know that this is the only right way to write down this? So it's not always like this. You can find out there are some organisms who are having the characteristic of both the kind of a classes. Say, for example, those are known as a connecting link, who are not reptiles, who are not totally birds. Hey, you कौन? कौन है वो? बोलो बोलो कौन है वो? It's a archaeopteryx. Oh, archaeopteryx. Okay. So if somebody is telling me who is I'm just giving you the example just to understand the connecting link, because you don't know about the archaeopteryx, and that's why that's not a good example, you know. So let me give you some known example. Who is a connecting link between the birds as well as the mammals, and that is known as a bat. Very good. So what is bat? So it is able to fly. So that's the flying mammal, which is known as a bat. Or I can also tell you the connecting link between the fish and mammal is the whale. How is it? Yes or no? So this is what you mean by connecting link. The organisms who are showing the characteristics of more than one class. Did you get this now? Connecting link. Hello. हाँ बोलो बेटा. Okay. So there is a problem in the archaeopteryx spelling. Thank you so much. Tell me. ARCH. AEO. Okay, just a minute. Huh? A E O P T E Archaeopteryx. Thank you. And this is X, not a K. Perfect. Thank you. Anything else? You got the concept, no? The nice concept. Yeah. This is showing that this is a the evolution had taken place then after, but that life is originated only and only once on the earth. Amazing. Yeah. So it gives me a immense pleasure to show this kind of a things. Yes or no? So now you got it, Archaeopteryx. So if you look on the face of Archaeopteryx, it looks like the face of the dinosaur or a garden lizard, those kind of organisms. Okay, yeah. So just look on it. Let me show you, and let me cover the other parts. Okay, suppose I'm covering the other parts. How does it look? Yeah, it really look like very similar to the dinosaur, garden lizard. Jabbar laga hai, nahi? Yes or no? No, no. Looks like a dinosaur, a type of a dinosaur. Honey? Okay. So that's how it is reptile-like. But it is having the wings also. And it is having a, can you see something here? The nails are there in its forelimb. Oh, so it's a long tail with the many vertebrae. I mean the very vertebrae. So that is a reptilian character. Airfoil wing with the contour feathers. That is known as a avian character. So yeah, the wing claw, which is a reptilian character. So there are some reptilian character and there are some avian character. That's why this is a connecting link between the reptiles as well as aves. Wow. And this is, that was the model. Earlier one was the model, but this is the fossil of Archaeopteryx. This is its face, its neck, rib cage, legs, wings, yeah, and tail. And this is what we have created the model out of that skeleton. That could be like this. And this is the only way how we got to know about the dinosaurs also. Yeah. And they could be like this, could be like this. Lots of the stories are there. Ah, so evidences of the fossil is Tyrannosaurus rex. That was the carnivorous one. They give an idea about the form and structure of the extinct animals like dinosaurs. So they are just giving us hint, and they help us to pave the way, to make the way of the evolution so we can understand something. Yes or no? Hello? Yes. Hmm. Wow. So, and I have seen all this in reality in the Paris. So if you happen to visit the Paris, please visit this place, which is known as a Museum of Natural History. It's an amazing museum. And please visit two blocks. One is this paleontology, whole block is different one. It's a two-story building. And there is another block which is having a evolution gallery. So that's amazing. Okay. Yeah. Mm. Yeah, so in the UK might be happening because I have been not there. That's why I'm not saying. But yes, it is also. It may have also the Natural History Museum. Okay, so this is how the evolution have taken a place. Okay, and the different layers you can find out. In different layers, you can find out different kind of organisms are there. Study of the fossils in the sedimentary layers indicate geological period. That this is which geological period. This is another one. This is another one, and this is another one geological period. Are you getting this? Hello. Huh? So this is show that the life forms varied over a time to time. Yes. Some life forms are restricted to certain geological time span only. So they remain to that particular area only. They cannot increase their number too much. They are not able to increase the number of organisms too much. So its meaning is that they are not able to reproduce up to a great extent. And that's why they were present only in the particular restricted to the particular region of the earth. And might be happen some natural calamities happen, and they because of that only all those organisms are washed away, and that is known as an extinct species. And dinosaur is one of that. Yeah. But like Indians now, as far as the human beings are there now, Indians cannot become extinct. Why? Because the Indians had reproduced too much. We have increased the population too much. We had gone to the over the countries and over the boundaries and to the different countries. Now you cannot say any one country where the Indian is not there. So unless and until something happened to the whole world, unless and until this, the Indians will be there. That's the magic of the reproduction. So we are not confined to particular geological area. So anything should not happen, touch wood, but anything happen to the world or a particular part of the world, but then also Indian will be there. So this is, I'm just giving you the example to understand why the dinosaurs are not there. Okay, because they had done very less reproduction, and that's why they confined to particular geographical area. Okay. So this is what the part one. Okay. I think this is more than enough for you. But I have to show you from the textbook also. No? So there are different kind of a textbook I am having. So one of the textbook I am just showing you uh, the way I had gone through it. Biogenesis, meteorite theory was also there, which believed that the cosmozoa, as per the life formation, cosmos came from the other planet and getting favorable conditions. That's why they develop into the organism. So it's like om, 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 om. Om, 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 om. So it's just like the Rakesh Roshan's movie Koi Mil Gaya. So what is this? So the meteorites came on the earth, and those meteorites were having a life, and they just stepped down from the meteorite. As like the Jadu was remain on our earth. Hane, did you know about that story? Koi Mil Gaya. Okay, this is Operin-Haldane hypothesis, origin of Earth, formation of water, ammonia, methane, then formation of micromolecules, small molecules, then macromolecules, formation of nucleic acid, nucleoprotein, formation of CoA surveys, and so on. So actually, this is what I love a lot. Primitive Earth, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, water, hydrogen, ammonia, methane, micromolecules had given rise to macromolecules. So, what do you mean by the micromolecules? I can tell you that the micromolecules can be compared with the glucose or a galactose kind of a monosaccharides. Or let me tell you about monomers. Yes or no? Yes. Monomers have given rise to a polymers. How is it? Good. and then after it will give rise to a coil servets, which will give rise to a pre-cell, and then after cell came on the earth. So I just request you, if you want to write it down, pause the video and just write it down. It's a quite good one. Primitive earth. Have you written it? Okay. He had written it. Have you written it? Primitive earth, carbon, hydrogen, oxygen, nitrogen, they will give rise to a water, hydrogen, ammonia, and methane, micromolecules like monomers. I can tell you the examples of monomers. There is no need to write it down, but I can write down. That is the glucose, amino acids, then nitrogen bases, etc. Perfect. The polymers will be what? They will be polysaccharides like starch, glycogen, cellulose, something like that. Then tin, protein. Then after it will be having the nucleic acids, etc., etc. Yes, have you written it? Okay. So everybody have written it. Thank God. So can I go further and can show you something? Hmm. Yeah. Pause the video and just write it down. Huh? Now I'm moving further. Yo. So let me delete this. Experimental proof, that is Yuri Miller's experiment. That's what I told you. That's what I explained you. Stages of evolution of life forms. So there are different evidences. Okay. So we just studied about the evidences of paleontology. Okay. But there are homologous, analogous organ also. There are so many other things are there. And the connecting links, we have completed it. Okay. Yeah. Then we have completed embryo. No, we have not completed this. Yes, paleontology we have completed. So let me go through all the evidences. Okay, it's a good one, and you already know about this. Why? Because in somewhere in 10th grade we have gone through it. That's why. Homologous organs, analogous organs. Have you heard about such a names? Yes, you know about it. Okay, and that's what I am going to share with you. So there are some homologous organs who are similar in their appearance. Their anatomy is the same, but they are different functions. But they are having a different functions. So structurally same, but performing different functions. Those kind of organs are known as a homologous organ. So structurally same. That's why it's known as a homo. Homo means same. Yes or no? Homogeneous liquid. What do you mean by that? Homogeneous solution. What do you mean by that? So uniform. So structurally they are same to same, but functionally they are different. And who are the examples? The examples are human's hand, having for holding something, dog's leg to walk, bird's wing, that's to fly, and the whale's fin to swim. Yes or no? Okay. Yeah. And this was done in the 10th. Okay. Yeah. The bougainvillea is having a thorn. Thorn is given rise from the stem. The stem is the same structure which will give rise to stem tendril also. But the functions are different one. Because in cucurbita, the tendril is helpful in the climbing, and in bougainvillea, thorn is giving the protection. So that's the function is a different one. Yes or no? Then comes analogous organ. Means what? So they have a same function, but the different kind of a structures. So functions is the same and different kind of a structure. So there are some where the similarity is there. Earlier the similarity was there in the structure, but the function was different one. That's known as a homologous organ. Here we have analogous organ. The function is the same to same, but the structure is a different one. The bat wing is having a bones over here. I'm just showing you where the bones are present in the case of a bat's wing. Here, here, here. as well as it is over here also. Yeah, very good. In the wings, it is just only the border. Otherwise, it is the feathers of the bird. And in the butterfly, there is no bone at all. Yes. So the organs which are superficially similar, but the anatomically dissimilar, similar functions, those are known as the analogous organ. The similar structures connected with the similarity of a function is termed analogy. Okay, that's known as what? Analogy. The wings of the insect, birds and bats, and the fins of the fishes and the whales. Wow. So does it make sense to you? Isn't it easy and good and making a sense to you? Okay. Yeah. Vestigial organ. Vestigial organ means what? The organs who are actually, this is what the definition, I'm just telling you. Later on, you can write down also. The organs who were very well developed and very well function. The organs who were very well developed and functionally very active in the ancestor. But in today's organisms, they are less developed and non-functional. Such a kind of organisms are known as a vestigial organ. Okay, look here. Vestigial organs are useless and functionless. Degenerate structures which were functional in some other animals or in some ancestor. That's what I told you. Okay. Now the question is that suppose I'm having something in my body which is not functioning, then why am I having it? So they are indicators of my relationship with my ancestors. Okay. Yeah. Let me tell you about such examples. Okay. Let me tell you one of the example. In the frog, you can see it is having a nictitating membrane. What do you mean by nictitating membrane? Nictitating membrane means the transparent membrane present on the eye of the amphibian frog. Now, what happens to us is that whenever something is coming to our eyes, near to our eyes, we just use our movable eyelid and we used to close our eyes. And it is autonomous. It is a reflex action. Okay, so it's not in our hand unless we control it. But then also, I don't think that up to great extent we can control it. Okay, so let me show you the nictitating membrane in our eyes. Yes, sir, do we have it? Yeah, we have it. Okay, let me show you. Where is it? Uh, you can see in the okay, yes, in the corner of the eye you can see a dot is present. Pink color dot is present in everybody's eye, and that dot is known as a nictitating membrane. Oh my god. So as we got the movable eyelids, that's why there was no need of that kind of a nictitating membrane, and that's why it becomes non-functional and becomes undeveloped. Wow. So only we are not capable to move our ears like this. Otherwise, you see the buffaloes, elephants can move their ears like this. So do we have muscles in the ears? Yes, but they becomes non-functional. Why? Because we used to move our neck much more. So now the muscles are there, but that's not working. Appendix is also one of that. The wisdom teeth, which is over here, it's making a huge problem to me. Yeah, because sometimes some food particles will be trapped in it, and when it is coming out at a later age, so wisdom tooth removal is a very paining procedure. But we are not using it. We cannot chew from here, na? We just make it with the help of the some molar and premolar. That's it. Yes or no? So if they are not present, then why they are? If they are not functioning, then why they are present? They are showing that our ancestors were having a jaw very big one. So it was something like this, and that's what the monkeys, or you can say chimpanzee, gorilla, and so on. Amazing. The appendix is also showing that yes, we were having a tail. So vermiform appendix, then nictitating membrane, ear muscles, and wisdom teeth. All the examples I just told you. Amazing. Connecting link. The animals exhibiting the characters of the two adjacent taxonomic groups are known as a connecting link, like peripatus. Peripatus is a connecting link between the Annelida and Arthropoda. Hey, peripatus, this is what it is. How it is similar to the Annelida? Because it is having a parapodia. So it's having so many legs, just like a nares. Okay. And the whole body is segmented in so many, whole body is divided into so many segments. So that's how it is Annelida. Good. Then how it is Arthropoda? It's having an antenna. Hey, look on the antenna part. Yes. So that's the Arthropoda. Very good. Balanoglossus. Connecting link between the invertebrates and chordates. So that's over here. Lungfish. Connecting link between the fish and amphibians. Archaeopteryx. Hey, here RIX is given. Hane. Yeah, so what I have written, that was according to this. Hai. Okay. Good, Chintan. So, the connecting link between the reptile and aves is the same. That's the Archaeopteryx. Now, embryological evidences. Do you believe embryologically we are same to same? Yes. How? See, I will give you about this. So, I'm just keeping this in a pending. Okay, I will just open the Google image and will show you. Okay, yeah. Physiological evidences. In my body, the lactase is the enzyme which is required for the digestion of lactose. In dog body also, it is the same. Yes. And might be even in the body of the protease is the enzyme which is required for the digestion of protein, even in the frog's body. Oh my God. Yes or no? Yes or no? Okay. So the hormone which is working in our body, the same hormone can act as a male sexual hormone in the case of a male frog. Yes. So that's what the physiological evidence. So that we are showing some similarities. So the studies on the physiology and biochemistry prove that the process of evolution had occurred biochemically. The cytoplasm, which is a basic unit of the life, has the same quantitative and qualitative attributes in cell of living organisms. So all organisms are having a cytoplasm. Yes. Eukaryotic organisms are having a very well developed nucleus. Yes. Amazing. Paleontological evidences. I already told you. If I would be over here, I would add one more evidence, and that's the amazing one, and that's the best one, which is appropriate for this topic only. Can you guess about it? Pardon? Yes. I would just write down it's genetical evidences are also there. Yes or no? How I can say genetical evidences? Because the meaning of genetic code is a universally same to same. Yes or no? Yes or no? You know, the genetic codes are same to same from prokaryotes to eukaryotes. And that's why I'm writing universally. Are you agree with me or not? Am I lying? No. Paleontological evidences, the direct evidences of the process of the evolution can be obtained by comparing fossils of the organisms that lived in the past with the organisms living today. And the fossils are written documents of evolution. Available fossils of the Mesozoic era of different dinosaurs were large size lizard, and that can be proven. Wow. Does it make sense to you or not? Yes. Okay. And I would like to look on our textbook also, that how much we have completed. So before I go further, I would like to share with you the photograph of the evidences which are known as embryological evidences. So, let me do one thing very quickly so that it will make a sense to us. And that's what. Mm, Okay, if you're looking on this, and can you see that who will develop as what? Sorry, I didn't get it. I just want to say, can you say that this will develop into what? This will develop into what? This will develop into what? No, it looks like a same to same. Besides this, you can also get something over here which is known as a pharyngeal gill slits. कहाँ पे है? This is known as a pharyngeal gill slits present here also, here also, here also, here also, here also, and here also. But pharyngeal gill slits are actually present in the aquatic animals only. Yes or no? But if all the animals are showing pharyngeal gill slits, its meaning is that our ancestors were aquatic. So you can see this is what the human, this is what the rabbit. Oh my God, it's very similar. Yes or no? Then bird, then tortoise, then amphibia and fish. Oh, does it make sense to you? Yes or no? Huh? Yeah, so that's what it is. That's amazing. So, this is the way how we have studied earlier. Again, that's why I'm just showing you the way. This is the right way to study, I think. Okay, so let me see if I'm getting a very good photograph of it to share with you. And so, sometimes some people are showing, yes, so this is a very good one. Sometimes some people are showing the characters of their ancestors, and that is known as a atavism. Eh? So the mutation will go in the reverse direction, and that's what I am telling you. Mutation is taking place in the reverse direction, and that is known as a atavism. I will show you that also. Just look here, it is how much similar. It's 100% similar. Yes or no? Yes. Okay, so let me go on atavism. So I'm just telling you now. So these are so many photographs which can show you about the same. Good one. No? Yes or no? Atavism. Atavism. What do you mean by that? Its meaning is that some organism is going back to the earlier period. Oh my God. So, the human baby is having a tail. Can you see this? Can you see this? So this is known as a back mutation also. And here you can see it. Wow, sir, we couldn't believe it. That's how it's becoming wonderful lecture. And that's really the ingredient of the wonderful lecture. Okay, so this is what the wisdom teeth, and you just think about it. Our ancestors were having so much big jaw, you know, and now we are not having it, but we are having the wisdom teeth. Okay, so what we have completed, I'm not going to read it, but I'm just telling you, origin of life is completed. Say yes or no. So be with me. Panspermia is done, operant Halden is done, then after what else is done? Urey Miller experiment is being done. Evolution of the life form, a theory. Is it done? No, this is not done. So I have taken from so many different things. Okay, what are evidences of evolution that is done? Huh? Yes. So I skipped one topic which is known as a 7.2. Okay, 7.3 is done. Yes, done. Yes, no. Yes, yes. Homologous organs. We have done this. Yes. Analogous organ. Yeah. Wow, sir, we have done it. Yes. Amazing. So we have completed 7.3. So we can consider that up to this, up to here we have completed. Yes or no? Up to here, man had bred. Bred means the breeding's past tense. Selected plants and animals in agriculture. So from here it is remaining. Let us say like that. Comfortable? Yes. This is done really. Yes. Okay. So on page number 131, we have completed first continued paragraph and second paragraph. From the third paragraph, it is remaining. Okay. Yes or no? And some amazing stories will be there in the next lecture. Okay. Yeah. So please, it looks like it is a very easy, but make sure you have to go through it again and again. Yeah. Okay. So I hope you enjoyed a lot and I enjoyed a lot. Bye bye.